You probably heard the saying before that stories imitate real life, but it is not real life. I'm Isaac, and this is How to Write Your Screenplay, a step-by-step guide. Stories might not be real life, but it has so many elements that is part of real life. Who we are, what we can do, and what we cannot do. There's so many things that influence our lives. But it goes beyond that. It goes to things that we have learned, things that we have seen, things we have experienced. All these things make up who and what we are. And then there are things that we want, those things that we desire, and those things that we don't want, and those things that we don't want to be done to us, but which we would easily do to others. But why is this? And why do we say stories is an imitation of real life? It is because characters in stories have the same emotions, the same feelings, the same fears we have as people. They have the same things that motivate them. Well, of course, things that motivate characters in a film will be far more worse or better than things that will motivate us in real life. But what makes a character on the screen, or in a book, or in a story, is what makes us in real life. And just like our own stories in real life unfolds in certain ways, the stories of your characters unfolds in a certain way on the screen. Your character would not do things because it is not in that character to do certain things. But your character will do other things because it is in him to do certain things. Or because he or she can do certain things. There are certain things that drives the characters to do certain things. Just the same it is with us. There are things in our lives that drives us to do certain things. That drives us not to do certain things. They determine what we want or which things we do not want, especially what happens to us. And when you go and look at your own life, all the things that happen through your life is because of things you have done, because of things you have said, because of things you wanted and things you didn't want or did not want to do. And part of those things that determine what we will do or not do is our fears. Our fears, for example, would not let us play with snakes because of what we've been told about snakes when we were small. Snakes are dangerous because they are poisonous, and when they bite you, you can die. So no one would just go and play with a snake unless they learned how to work with snakes. And some people still has this fear of snakes because they just see snakes as poisonous and dangerous. But that fact that they see snakes as poisonous and dangerous comes from somewhere. Someone told them that. Someone probably showed them it by means of photos or films. Look, don't play with snakes because that can happen to you. So we are made up of different things. Our beliefs, the things we don't believe in, the things that we believe in, the things that we believe is wrong, the things that we believe is right, the things that we believe is acceptable in society, and the things we believe is not acceptable in society. Then there's also the people or groups we are involved with. What is acceptable in that group will be acceptable to us because we are part of that group. We want to be part of that group. There's so many things that drives us as people. Just so there are things that drives your characters in your story or film. But your viewer, your reader need to see this. Your reader, your viewer need to be aware of it. And you as a writer need to make your viewer or your reader aware of it. Let's look at this scenario. You are at a party. Everybody is enjoying themselves. And suddenly at one table, there is this huge commotion and everybody looks at that table wondering what the hell is going on now. But It will stay at wondering unless you go and find out. Because you will only see what started to happen when that commotion started. You won't know what led to it. But if you go and ask what led to it, you will hear something probably like this. Now this man, he thinks I'm stupid. He's talking the whole time with this woman. I could see how he looked at her. I'm not stupid. He was flirting with her. And the man will probably say, no, I was not flirting. And the other woman might probably be there standing because there's a fight now because of her. Not that she cares. But now the fight between the man and his woman is continuing. And the woman might say, you probably think I'm stupid. I could see what he's doing. He was talking to her the whole time. He was flirting with her. And she liked it. That's why I smacked him. And the man will say, no, I did nothing. I was just talking to her because she was sitting close to me. And the woman might say, do you think I'm stupid? But why would that woman react like that? And why would that man react like that? You see, if you don't have the entire story, you won't understand why it happened. And that why in a story is so important. Let's say this girl or this woman has been hurt before by another man who cheated on her. And because she was hurt before, she's now suspicious of everything the new man in her life does. And especially when it speaks to women, she's immediately on her guard and she takes note of what's going on. But worse still, she sees things and interprets it for what it might not even be. And that is because she was hurt before and she has a fear of being hurt again. So, a psychological makeup also played a role in what was happening at that table. And that man, he might probably have felt, hell, this woman is talking to me. She finds me interesting. Maybe he had the intention of doing something, or maybe he did not. He just enjoyed the conversation. But why would he enjoy the conversation? Maybe his own woman, because of her feelings, her past, the fact that she was hurt, did not give him the attention that the other woman was giving him. She was always suspicious of him. No matter where he is, she probably was thinking, he's probably doing something wrong again. But you would not know this unless you could talk to them, talk about their past, talk about their feelings, to find out what was really happening. Because what you see normally is not what you believe it is, or it is something different from what you believe. And that is precisely because of how we as people are made up. We are made up of our past. Things that happened to us in our past. Things that we experienced in our past. Things that we hated in our past. And things that we loved in our past. Then there's the present. Our experience in our present is normally influenced by what happened in our past. Our views in our present is normally impressed upon us by what happened in our past. And if what happened to us was negative, we would see negative in everything. If what happened to us in the past was positive, we would probably see positive in it in certain situations. It all depends on our experiences, what happened to us in our past, what we liked that happened to us and what we did not like that happened to us. All our experiences. And then there are the things that we wanted in our past. Maybe we could get it and not get it. Why could we not have gotten it? Why could other people have gotten it? What did other people do that we did not do? All these things make up who we are. Our fears, our desires, the things we hate, the things we love. The same it is with your characters. Your characters cannot just be characters to you. They must be people. People with the same emotions, the same feelings, the same desires, the same fears that you as a person have. Because that will determine how your character will react in a certain situation, what your character would do, and what your character would not do. That will be determine what will happen to your character and what your character will or will not do. But just like we don't like surprises in our lives, your character probably also won't like surprises. And if things happens to him or her that they can't understand or can't figure out why it is happening, it will cause stress in them, just like it will cause stress in you. But it doesn't help you have all these things, or you know about it. But how do you use it in your story? You might have the best plot. You might have the best characters. You might have the best settings. You might have the best possible dilemma for your character to deal with, and the best possible way to resolve the dilemma. But it won't help if your viewers or reader can't understand what is happening, why it is happening, how it is happening. And you need something to help them understand that. You see, story needs to be followed, whether it's in a book, film, whatever medium you are using. People need to follow what is happening. They need to make sense of what is happening. Making sense of what is happening. But making sense of what is happening and why it is happening. Your reader or viewer needs information. And you are the person, you the writer are the person who give that information to your reader or viewer. It's so important, that information. You see, without that information, your reader or viewer won't make sense of what is happening on screen. Won't make sense of why your character is doing something or why your character is not doing something. That information is of vital importance to help your reader or viewer follow your story. And there's something that helps you to achieve this as the writer. That thing that helps you to achieve this, we call narrative. Because narrative helps to bring your story together, bind it together, and help it to unfold on screen.